Hi guys, welcome to Football Link. It's me again. Sean can't be with us today, so just me you'll have to put up with. Guys, you know what to do. Hit the like button, and if you're watching for the first time, hit subscribe. And if you're listening on audio, please hit the follow button. Well, it's quite a day if you're a Spurs fan, that's for sure. Thomas Frank given the okay, the green light to carry on by Vinay in a meeting that's been held over the last couple of days. Bit of a shock. I think most people expected Thomas the Tank Engine to become Thomas the Blank Engine and to hit the station out of here. But it didn't happen. Thomas Frank, just a few of the quotes that he's come out with. He says, when your back is against the wall, you fight. Shame the team hasn't been fighting when their back's against the wall. I've just been feeling the trust along the way. I've said that every press meeting. I had lunch with Nick, Johan and Vinay today, and all is good. It ain't good in the fan base. I know it's all part of the media circus. Well, the only circus that's been created, really, Thomas, is the circus around your football and around your substitutions and the lack of wins. You've managed to create a reasonably toxic fan base over the last 2 years into an extremely toxic fan base to which fans are actually fighting each other after the game. Pretty bad. Looking at the situation that's at the club, our situation with the game against Dortmund is an absolute mess. Don't even know really where to begin with it all. The players who are definitely out, okay? So we got Mickey van der Ven, who's suspended. We've got out or ineligible. We've got Radu Dragusin, Ben Davies injured, Yves Bissouma eligible, Conor Gallagher ineligible, Rodrigo Bentancur, he's out, Maddison's out, Kudus is out, Kulusevski's out, Richarlison's out, Solanke's out. And, well, we saw that Solanke got swapped after this news came out for Matthias Tell. Now, one thing I would say, Matthias Tell hasn't been incredible this season, but what he is fit. And what he does do is try. We've seen it in the last two games. Bit of a surprise when he was taken off. The game against West Ham, roundly booed. But to take him out when we've got this many injuries, to put him Solanke in, and we've seen Solanke's come on for 2 games. He's done nothing. He's nowhere near fit. There's no way he can do 90 minutes. But we have so few players. Papa Sarr, I'll get onto him in a minute, but João Paulinho's injured. And I think the 11 players more or less picked themselves. But it was a bit of a shock to me that Matthias Tell was swapped out for Dom Solanke. Very, very strange. But then again, when aren't the some of the decisions that have been made? The fact that Vinay has decided to give more time to Thomas Frank in an attempt to save his job. I hear a lot of people say, he did the same with Arteta when Arteta was under massive pressure to keep his job at Arsenal when the results weren't going for him, finishing 8th, yet, spending money. He said that Thomas Frank will be Tottenham manager for the game against Borussia Dortmund and the club will reevaluate his future after the game. Vinay says he has faith in Thomas Frank to change the situation around and has informed the hierarchy after an important meeting that took place. I don't know what to say, really. This Dortmund game, Dortmund have lost 1 game in the Bundesliga all season and they're facing us tomorrow. This is going to be like a training game for them. The 11 picks itself. We got kids on the bench. But you know what? Sometimes through adversity, a star is born. I don't know what stars he's going to be putting on the bench, but, Borussia Dortmund play a lot of kids, 17, 18-year-old kids. So, why not tomorrow? If needs must, throw them in, whether it's Williams, Barnett or whoever it may be. tomorrow's going to be an interesting time. I think it's going to be extremely toxic in the stadium tomorrow, but we'll have to see what happens. Other news, those of you who saw that mad AFCON final between Morocco and Senegal. First of all, congratulations to Papa Sarr, who apparently is in hospital. He was taken ill during the game. He was asked to warm up on 45 minutes for a player who was coming off injured, and he started to feel ill and felt worse. And apparently the news I was getting that he's in hospital with some sort of bug virus. It just keeps happening to us. Well, the way things are going now, who knows what's going to end up happening. But a big shout out to Senegal's reserve goalkeeper. I can never remember his name. Yevhen Diouf, who was active throughout the game. His sole job, I'm sure you've seen the videos, was to protect Mendy, their goalkeeper, Senegal goalkeeper's towels. The Moroccan ball boys, I don't think I've ever seen such bad sportsmanship in all my life. They are desperately, he's pouring down with rain, absolutely pissing down. And Mendy's obviously needing to come and get his gloves dried, his face dried. And they're trying to nick his towels. They're literally fighting over the towel. I mean, it was unbelievable behaviour. And some of the behaviour from Hakimi, all the Moroccans. I know a lot of the sort of blowback has been against the Senegal team for walking off. I get it. But when you're awarded a 98th minute decision, a penalty, from a hometown referee who seemed to be giving them everything, and an organisation that it seemed everything was organised for Morocco to win for the first time in 50 years and deprive Senegal of the title. So they walked off, and eventually Mane, who did a fantastic job to get them back onto the pitch. Brahim Diaz, the Real Madrid player, comes on, tries to do Palenka, and screws it up, goes straight to Mendy. For me, that was justice, absolute justice. They were so bad sportsmanship. It was absolutely shocking. It was quite interesting when the Senegalese coach, Papa Thiaw, came in for a press conference. All of the Moroccan journalists walked out. All of them. I mean, you know, talk about sportsmanship. We saw all the fighting, and no one wants to see that in the game. But I think Senegal saved African football because it looked like a laughing stock. I've got to be honest with you. It was actually disgraceful scenes. And if you haven't seen it, you need to go and see it because it was absolute mad stuff. Let's have a look at the transfer news today. Obviously, the biggest one was Mark Gahey signing for Manchester City. He said he signed for the biggest club in the world, and he has. I think that takes Manchester City spending to, is it £450 million in the last 12 months? But still no charges have been levelled at them. We're still waiting. How many times have we been promised an answer soon to all these charges, yet nothing has come about? But I think the title has more or less gone to Arsenal. That's my personal belief. The Premier League has handed Arsenal this title more so than they've won it. Because, Manchester City, 3 points out of 12. Three points, 3 draws out of the last 4 games. I never thought I'd see it. But listen, having Semenyo and Mark Gahey is going to make a huge difference to the team. And it would be good to see if they could go on a run now and at least put some pressure on Arsenal. But we'll have to wait and see. As far as transfer news is concerned, Chelsea are looking at Rennes' Jeremy Jacquet, the centre-back, a really good defender. Liverpool been looking at him, Chelsea, Rumoured that Arsenal were also looking at him, not that they need any more defenders. He looks like he's going to be one of their major signings in this window. I expect others to go out on the opposite direction, but Chelsea have serious problems on the injury front, centre-back, so I expect that one to change. Chelsea are also interested in the Leicester City wonder kid, always a tag they use for everyone, Jeremy Monga, a really good, exciting kid. I'll be interested to see what happens with him. Lots of promise, lots of interest. Crystal Palace. This is very interesting. Most ridiculous comment. Crystal Palace have decided against sacking Oliver Glasner. Why? Because Steve Parish doesn't want to play in compensation. No shot there. A lot of Spurs fans, interestingly, were calling for Oliver Glasner to give him the job when Frank wasn't delivering. Now it seems to be a bit muted. And when we did a poll on Football Inc., many of them turned around and said, no, not for us. So we're interested to see what happens there. But I'll be interested to see the type of manager that Palace start getting linked with. No one concrete yet, but I'm sure that will change. Crystal Palace midfielder has been linked with a move away from the club this month, should I say. He's getting minutes, but only when there's been injuries. I mean, at the moment, obviously, they've had injuries. They're thinned out squad at the moment, so maybe he will move on. Palace looking to bring a few players in, obviously, to replace Mark Gahey for sure. And they're also interested in signing Angers French forward Siddiqui Sheriff this month. Good player, nice attacking player. What else have we got? Liverpool and Chelsea are lining up a move for Como defender Jacobo Ramon. I'm a bit surprised, to be honest with you, that Liverpool still haven't moved for a centre-back. I don't know what they're waiting for. I thought that they would be signing one as soon as possible, bearing in mind that they're still in the Champions League, and with Salah coming back, and some of the other players who are injured coming back, if they added a couple of quality centre-backs, they've got why shouldn't they be in the running for the Champions League? But as it stands now, I don't think the centre-backs they have now are good enough. Konate seems to be all over the place. Gomez is in and out injured, and Virgil van Dijk, for me, he's not at the pinnacle that he was a few years ago. Manchester United, well, they're linked with everybody, aren't they? Let's be honest. Hayden Hackney, the Middlesbrough midfielder, who I've always liked, but I just felt he didn't really have the pace. And at 23 years of age, I keep asking the question, why has no one snapped him up earlier? He is a good player and he progresses the ball well. It's interesting. Tottenham apparently called their interest, maybe because we signed Conor Gallagher. That might be it. But Manchester United have submitted a formal bid to bring Ruben Neves from Saudi. This is one I thought Ruben Amorim was nailed on to be signed for Ruben Amorim. I think Ruben Neves will really add something to the Man United midfield. It'd be interesting to see whether Carrick has really turned the corner with him. It felt like Amorim was just starting to get there. But if Carrick can get the bounce, I mean, now he's got the players back from AFCON, and interesting to see that he finally played Kobe Mainoo and he showed what he's got in the middle of the park. I thought he had a good game against Manchester City. And let's be honest, it could have been a lot worse for Manchester City in that game. They look dynamic, and maybe it will carry on. We shall see. They are interested also in signing Juventus defender Pierre Kalulu. I'm not sure whether they will be looking to do that in this window or in the summer, as some of the centre-backs seem to be coming back to fitness now. Interesting one. This one came as a real shock. I don't know what's going on. I don't know whether it had a bit of a falling out or what have you. But apparently, Newcastle are prepared to make Anthony Gordon available for transfer in the summer. I don't know about you, but I would take Anthony Gordon tomorrow. Whether they're thinking sell Anthony Gordon, get big money, and utilise that money and reinvest the money in the squad. Be interesting to see what happens there. Jose Mourinho, as usual, can't resist. Press highlight, has addressed the possible Real Madrid return following Xabi Alonso's sacking. Could you imagine him going back? It'd be interesting. Arbelardo turned round and said that he's going to get the best out of Vinicius Jr. Well, someone needs to. I think he's got 1 goal in 16 games. Done a lot of talking about how he doesn't like the coach and Mbappe doesn't like the coach. Players need to stop moaning about the coaches and start performing on the pitch. If you did both, then fair enough, right? But you're not. What else have they got there? Spurs. One of the interesting names that came up to replace Thomas Frank, should he go, came as a bit of a surprise to me, was Fabian Hürzeler, the Brighton boss. I'm not sure what I think about that. Isn't that the same? You know, Thomas Frank stepping up from a smaller club to a bigger job and then failing. You know, we've seen lots of managers try to make that step up. You saw Roy Hodgson going to Liverpool and not making the grade. There's been lots of them throughout the time. And Tottenham are also been linked with Oscar Bob, the Manchester City player. Having seen the performance of Mamouche for Egypt, I've got no interest in bringing him, maybe on loan with an option and not taking up the option. But that's about it for me. Guys, if you're in the chat, please hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. Guys, need to help the channel grow, and couldn't grow the channel without you, that's for sure. Let me just quickly see if there's any more news before I sign off. Let's see what's going on in the transfer market. Nothing much, I don't think, now. No, it doesn't look like there's any more. No doubt there will be a signing or some transfer news after I log off. I'll probably go through the weekend results tomorrow. Not sure if Sean can be with me tomorrow. But thanks again, guys. Couldn't do it without you. Please hit the like and subscribe. And it's goodbye from me at Football Inc. Thank you. See you soon. Bye.